Hello everybody, Mr. Taylor here. As promised, we are in Unit 5, which is Transformation and Congruency. So hopefully that you did take a look at the very first video that was posted in relation to the transformation, where it actually gave you some definitions, but if not, you might want to go back and look at that. We'll review these definitions as we go forward, but I definitely want you to have an idea of what these definitions mean. And it's because I said earlier, especially when this is a 10th grade geometry teach that's been moved down to 8th grade math in Texas. Well, the first thing we want to take a look at is activity 1 in 12.1 when we're talking about the properties of translation. Our learning objective: students will describe the properties of orientation and congruency of translation using a triangle. Some key vocabulary: transformation, which is a function that describes the change in the position, size, or shape of a figure. Preimage is the original or input of the transformation. Image is the change or the output of the transformation. And translation is a transformation. We said yesterday that it was a isometry or rigid transformation that slides a figure along a straight line. The image has the same size and same shape as the preimage. Okay, so I think what this portrays, I also want us to know that when you look at these marching bands, they use translation, definitely transformation when you see, because no matter when you look at it, especially if you look at it from overhead, if you're in a stadium and you look down on them, they're in line diagonally, they're in line horizontally, they're in line vertically. So it's actually a form of transformation. So you've learned that a function is a rule that assigns exactly one output to one input. We learned that way back. So a transformation is a function that describes a change in the position, size, or shape of a figure. The input of a transformation is the preimage, and the output of the transformation is the image. Then, of course, the very first transformation that we want to take a look at is a translation that slides the figure, literally slides it along a straight line. The image has the same size and shape as the preimage. So what they did for us is they gave us this particular triangle, and it was, the preimage was A, B, C. So we can say that this is triangle ABC. And what they are trying to do here is they want us to understand what happens if we move it along this particular line. What happens if we move it along this particular line? So not only are we not going to move A, even though that's a good place to start, but we're going to move B and we're going to move C along this particular line as well. So they asked us to trace it, ABC, on a piece of paper and cut out your trace triangle and then slide it along the line and model what's happening to it. So something else that you need to understand is the vertices. So the vertices is actually where your lines intersect. And since line AB intersect here, that's a vertice. Line AC intersects here, that's a vertice, and line CB intersects here. So they're all three are vertices, even though we could say that's a vertex, vertex, vertex. So a triangle, with three vertex or vertices, and we need to move all three. So down here at E, it asks us, now I'm hoping that you're going to go through this in your book or with your particular sheets. Here I'm just going to do it from a mathematical standpoint. So here it asks us to describe the motion. Okay, so if I look at this and I'm going from here to here, so this, remember, this figure is my, or let's just say A is my pre-image, and A prime, see the little hash mark, will be my image. So I'm going from here to here. How do I get there? Now we're in the coordinate planes, so we just can't take up and say, hey, let's go down here. We need to go either left or right and up or down, because we're going on the X and Y axis. So we start with the X and we're going from here again to here. So how do we get there? I see one. Notice I'm not starting here counting. I'm starting from here counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm moving 7 units to the right. So whatever this is, it's going to be X plus 7. And I'm moving from 7, I'm moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units down. So not only do I move A prime like this, I take C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I get the C prime position. And B, I move 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's see, what am I doing with B? Yep, 4. See, let's go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to give me my B prime. So you notice the triangle didn't lose its shape. It's just simply moved or slid across this diagonal line that you see that goes from position. And let's go ahead and talk about what these ordered pairs are. Well, actually, I don't want to do that yet. I want to wait until we literally get into the lesson where they're telling us this. So right now, I just want you to see how the slide affects, and it tells us check the motion you describe in part E is the same as the motion that maps A to A prime, B to B prime, and C to C prime, and that is exactly right. Okay, so let's take a look at a reflect piece that I want you to take a look at and see, can you understand something. So it asks us, how is the orientation of the triangle affected by the translation? Orientation. What are we talking about? Well, orientation refers to the arrangement of the points relative to one another after the transformation has occurred. For example, the reference made to the direction uh, transversed, which is either clockwise or counterclockwise when traveling across a geometric figure. So if we go back and look at this, did A switch and went down and C went up, and did B go to the left? No, it did not. They all stayed in the same position and went from one to the other. So that's what orientation is about. So you determine, stop the video, see can you answer that question for me. Okay, so how is orientation of the triangle affected by the translation? Is not. It is not affected at all. The orientation literally stays the same. All right, first video on something that I think is not going to be a concern. I think we're going to run through it really easy. Mr. Taylor, and we'll talk to you soon.